Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to the Vanishing of Ethan Carter Redux. Let us continue. Well, a little bit of hitchiness there when I unpaused it. Interesting that we are overall having a much smoother experience, but still running into a few things. Uh, Now, of course, there are Unreal Engine 4 games out there that, and they don't all have hitchiness. As we walk to the Van de Graaff house, which I assume this is the Van de Graaff house. This actually very well may not be the Van de Graaff house. Uh, but, because they never really say. That's just a boat. It doesn't say Van de Graaff or anything like that. Why would you have two doors? Was this house for split in half at some point? I once lived in a house that was split in half originally and then put back together. So it was a very tiny house that at some point was shared by two people and then put back together, or it was built off the floor plans of a house that was designed to be shared by two people. It made no sense whatsoever because there was only one bathroom, like not even 1.5 bath stuff. There was literally one toilet, one bathtub with a shower fixture, and that was it. Cement. I don't remember the cement being here. What do we see out this way? Nothing. Can we interact with this since we know it's something important? You can't really look out that way. Speaking of bathrooms, there is no bathroom in this house, is there? I mean, look around. Unless this was the bathroom, there isn't one. Oh well, we have no time to deal with that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip the last paragraph because it is nothing but a bunch of gibberish, but I will read the rest. I invoke the Boneless One, the One of Voids, Destroyer of Ships, he who is feared by the winds, hear me. Great Minister Falcolor, I wish to make a pact with you to confound my enemies and protect my possessions. Use the doors of confusions to cloud their judgment. Seal the path with falsity and guile, and permit only those who can discern every true interior to pass. And then it's a bunch of words. Bunch of gibberish words. Like a magic spell. Now, what is funny about this, as we look, this is from Ethan's notebook because it's all been ripped out of the same notebook with a little thing. Either they reused the paper texture and didn't mean to, because it doesn't have the lines like the other ones, but it definitely has the same edges. And now we've got a magical doorway, which to travel through. I wonder if there would be a quicker solution. I can walk in either way. Interesting. So this puzzle is about remembering the Carter house. Why is it about remembering the Carter house and how it was? I don't know. I mean, that really doesn't make any sense, does it? If you make too many mistakes, you'll have to reset. Like 2. One trick you can do though is if the options that are being presented to you are confusing, go to another room, because it could at least change the options. See, that's the attic, obviously that's not the right way. Took me a few tries to get this puzzle done the first time I played through, just in its own ways. Oh, that is bright and darkness all mixed together. Was there a bathroom in the Carter house either? That's an interesting thought. So it's not this one, and it's not this one, we know that. There we go. There's a kitchen on the second floor, which is a little weird. The reason you don't put kitchens on the second floor is because then it would be very difficult to bring groceries up. So, if you just follow the side of the building, you know this has to be right for the windows. That can't possibly be right. I think that's right. There, yep. And that goes back to the stairs, of course. And that's the second floor done. I'm glad I'm gonna get this done on the first try. It is interesting to mention that the books that were here in the Carter house and oddly aren't here in the Vandegraff house were references to more stories. Actually, no, the books are over here. Yeah. More stories. That's all we see are stories. Obviously, Ethan Carter would have read a lot of stories if he's always writing stories. We walk through here, and the only way back is this way. And there's a room we've never seen before. It is a magical room, making magical potions and making sound that I don't recall hearing the first time in the original game. And the wall is missing. So the thought is that this is the room where Ethan went, but spoiler alert for 5 seconds if you don't want to hear it. This obviously can't be the right room. This isn't the Vandegraff house. This is not just a different house. Okay, if everybody's back now, I'll read. A magician once lived inside an old house and made potions that let him see the future. People from the village came to the magician's house and demanded he share his potions with them. We want to see the future too, they told him. But the magician said no. The people from the village grew angry and burnt the magician's house. But the magician knew this would happen. He had already cast a spell on his potion room. The house burned, but the room did not. The people from the valley waited, but the magician never came out. This is almost exactly the same story. And I'm starting to see kind of what these stories are. Notice it is another Ethan page with the same cutouts in every side of this paper. It's a magical doorway. It's the same story as Sap.
Why are you standing there? You spying?
No.
No, huh? What the hell's wrong with you exactly?
Nothing.
You need to stop leaving your stupid stories around. They're freaking everyone out.
And now we are in a different room. So I think the reality here is that Uncle Chad here was a bootlegging criminal. And I think the other reality here might be that the indication is that the grandfather was an alcoholic. Here we go. Blaze reveals moonshine operation by Daniel Jolson or Josephson. Yeah, Josephson. Bayfield County, Ashland Township volunteer firefighters discovered an apparent moonshine still while battling a blaze in the woods off Old Ogden Road. According to the authorities, the still comprised a propane stove and a 4-gallon stainless steel pot, which was used to hold whiskey mash. Based off the size of the still, Bayfield County Sheriff Hank Sheffield believed that it may be part of a small operation, though he admitted there could be other stills in the county. Officers on the scene recovered a half-gallon of apple pie moonshine and 1 gallon of unflavored moonshine. Apple cider and cinnamon sticks were found adjacent to the still. And then on the other side, NASA launches the ATS-6 satellite by the Associated Press. Cape Canaveral, Florida, NASA launched what has been called the world's first educational satellite in Florida today, giving the United States a powerful edge in telecommunication technology. The Applications Technology Satellite 6 will directly broadcast educational programming to several countries, including the United States, Canada, India, and Australia. NASA believes the satellite will remain in contact with the Earth for at least the next 5 years. So, which one was the clipping that was actually saved? Becomes the question. And this is just the story. And we accept that one. We put back the other one. So I think what we're finding is the reality of what is wrong with his family. That they obviously have some problems. We know Travis is a jerk to him, and that very well could have been the Fang story. And that the story we just read about the magician could have been Chad. And the story of Traps could very well have been the granddad. Could have also been his father, sure. That's definitely true. Alright, so you have to kind of assume then this house is so old, and I don't buy it. This ironwork is too new a technology in my mind that this house would be old enough to have a outhouse. And if it was an outhouse situation, since we're seeing no bathrooms, that would be weird. It doesn't add up. I just think they forgot to put a bathroom in there, in the house. Yeah, if they hadn't spent so much time developing electrical conduit boxes, which maybe these are all over the place on Poland, since this is a Polish game creator, and that is the deal, that they just see those everywhere, and it would be very unfamiliar territory. Well, we could go that way, but I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way, through the forest. I believe this will take us to the next story.
They
People come here for many reasons. They want to ask me questions about the future.
Okay.
I can see the future. So it is the past that interests me.
Okay.
If you want to find my house, you must answer the questions I ask of you.
Alright.
Does death bring peace or suffering?
Peace.
Would you prefer anonymity over notoriety?
Notoriety.
Do you feel victory when your words cause pain?
Sometimes.
Do you take that which you know you will not return?
On a rare occasion.
Is betrayal caused by inequality or injustice?
I'd say inequality and injustice.
Does sin come from the heart or the mind?
The mind. And we are at the witch. Read. A beautiful woman sat by the river. The witch approached her and told the woman that she was to have a child. The woman began to cry with joy. But the joy turned into fear, and she could not stop crying. Fear turned to sadness. The woman continued to cry. She cried for months, hardly sleeping, until the child was born. But the crying had aged the woman, and she was no longer beautiful. When was old enough, her son climbed to the mountain to find the home of the witch. He asked her if she could make his mother beautiful again. The witch asked the boy many questions. After hearing the answers, the witch told the boy she had lied to the mother about her child. The boy disappeared, and the mother was beautiful again. Okay, so my thought here is that Ethan's mother suffered from postpartum depression and maybe even prepartum depression, if that is the right phrase, when she was pregnant with him, and thus she was suffering from depression. And he wanted her to be so happy and beautiful again, which maybe she said she felt ugly now. Where we get that, he was willing to disappear himself.
Ethan, the point of life is not to rock the boat. Just try to get along. Stop living in your head. Do something real. That's what people respond to. Reality.
The torches are gone. So let's read this. Note from Ethan's mother. Ethan, honey, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I want you to keep this note and read it every time I lose my temper. I don't mean it, and know I've got a snake's tongue. You're my little guy, my precious bean. You gotta pull your head out of them clouds, okay? Love, Mom. You know, the love mom part's not here. Interesting. Was that a mistake, or is that not, was it not written? And this is just the story again. That was hardly a puzzle. All we had to do was walk forward, and I don't know if you really had to speak or say anything. I seriously doubt it, because this game would have had a lot of problems if people don't have microphones turned on, and let's face it, most video game players don't have microphones turned on in our recording for YouTube footage. Where are we going? We found the church. Oddly enough. came in a different direction to find the church, but whatever. Inspect. Mortar, trowel. Wheelbarrow. And bricks. Oh, maybe so somebody was trying to brick up this area. I didn't even see that in the original game. Bohemian Star, Gehenna Curvi, Wing of the Crow, Crow's Foot, Necro Cross, Broken Cross, Witch's Foot, Sacrifice to Klepoth, a Sigil. So apparently he knows quite a few things. Brush, bucket, crow carcass, blood as paint, ritual, crow killed, cut open with dagger, knife, scalpel, question mark. Where's the question mark? Where is it? It's down there. Well, I can't help but see a whole bunch of blackness right now. But I do see that the doorway is there. So we need to go down there. But let's just save ourselves. Inspect, burnt matches, oil can, spilled oil, round stain, oil lamp. Where's the oil lamp? It's over there in the church. Okay. So if the game was laid out so that you would always enter from that side, it would help a little bit. What's this? Signs of a struggle. Several different footprints. Blood, human, crow. Blood stain. I don't know if I found that before. I think they could have probably done a little bit more with this church. It's just a tree cross. Interesting. Because they really didn't do a lot with the church. This almost feels like a what would you call it? A school project, perhaps. We'll just go inside and get the thing. So what do I want here is I want some creaking, I want something that, like a bird to fly out from somewhere in front of me. That would be cool. I mean, you could have a lot of jump scares with just birds flying and specific things, and creaking and cracking. Inspect. It is a broken lantern that has been dented quite a bit. So why the lantern would have made it to this point and was in that position, I don't know. That is a good question. Why was the lantern there? Now I know, because I've played the game before, that there is a collectible somewhere around here, and it is worth an effort to just find it now. Here it is. It is a crow with blood on its beak. So I'll take that. It's doing a little bit of saving up in the top right. I don't know if the original game did that. If it told you when it was quick saving, or if it said saving scene before, and now they've changed it from saying saving scene to just the dot dot dot. Usually the dot 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 is spent better by placing it in the lower right than the upper right. This place is dark and spooky. Let's pull this. Ah, the crow swing backwards. A handle and another handle. A crow and a crow question mark. So we'll fix it by putting the crows together, and then we'll pull the handle again. This is a pretty cool puzzle because of the sweet fire effects, which I think might actually be better in Unreal Engine 4 than. It's still a very dark area. It would have been kind of nice if they'd gone the full length, but whatever. So we have a couple of things to inspect. A dagger and the body. We'll inspect the dagger and take it out of him, just in case we need a knife. And then we'll inspect the body. Cause of death. Chest wound. No blood. Post-mortem. Facial cut. Shallow. Minimum bleeding. Blood streaks. Back wound. Single attacker. Multiple attackers. Let's touch him. Because we love to touch dead bodies. I gotta hold it. Can't see it quite yet. I've gotta go put the scene back to the way it was. Which, you know, why does the game not say that right there? And this is changed to say dagger, so we put the dagger there. Was the dagger really there? And this says oil lamp, so we'll put the oil lamp there. And then we'll go back and touch the dead body and see what happens. Another one of those sigils. So we got quite a few memories of the past in this puzzle. This puzzle was pretty big, a little too big actually. So it's the dad and the mother and Uncle Chad. It's the mother and Uncle Chad and the dad again. I think you're best off inspecting all the places we've seen before. Uncle Chad and the dad. Mother with the knife. Looking like she's gonna stab Uncle Chad. We got some more over here. It's just the mother and the dad, and she doesn't have the lantern yet. And it's the mother and the dad, and she does have it. So let's see if I can get this fully done correctly in the first try. This puzzle was the most confusing, and it really did set us up for this weird thing. Having to do it again. Notice that one of these bricks is part of the ghost. So I hope this is right. I believe it is. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's visualize.
Our boy. Chad is putting our boy in that crypt.
bricking him up, giving him to the sleeper forever.
You know he's harmless. You know this is wrong.
Chad, finish those bricks before he wakes up.
Stabbed him with the crow in the eye.
Chad, let me see it.
Get the hell away from me! You should have been helping!
Dale's weak. He always has been.
You're right. He is weak.
Chad, get off of him! He's your brother! Get off of him!
Ethan escapes while they're
What the
fighting
hell's
him.
going on? Where's Ethan?
The one who sleeps must not sleep. Your Uncle Chad is dead. Wait. Ethan.
And that's where Travis comes in. So Travis, it was important that he comes in this cutscene actually, so that we could see he was still alive and his legs hadn't been cut off or anything like that.
It's not right. Ethan's our boy.
Dad, I need to get into the mine.
What? Mine? My key. I don't have it.
I guess I'll use the tunnel near the gate. Just keep Mom away from me, all right? She's sick. You're all sick.
And instead of saying saving
The
scene,
sleeper must not sleep. Ethan disturbed something. Whatever it was, it got out, into the air, and into the minds of his family.
a sleeper must not sleep. So that was a murder one, so there was no stories, I don't think, to read at all. Yeah, because the main ones don't do stories, do they? Well, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.